From the east to the west coast, this is that Crip shit. The neighborhood nip shit. Full stock to the ops clock with a big stick. Crip shit. Revolutionary misfit. Community resistance and progress. Get with this Crip shit. Flag hanging by the mission. Gang bang. Always some lit shit. Crip shit. What up, cuz? Yeah, we distant, but it don't really.
Go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna go ahead and just start, and we're gonna jump into it. I've been saying this for a while that I'm gonna go ahead and start teaching financial literacy like I had came on here to do, and we're gonna go live. I have 4 pillars to building wealth that I believe that a lot of people and everybody should know and should understand. Okay, so bear with me. This is gonna be a journey. We're gonna do this journey together. All right. So I do want to start on something. For the first couple of minutes, I do want to start on what we call mindset, right? Because your mindset is going to be one of the things that's going to catalyst you into building wealth. Because a lot of us have a mindset right now that we can't do it when we actually can do it. Okay, we can go ahead and build the wealth that we need, even though we're struggling right now. Everybody in America is struggling. You know, when you have people, I think it's like almost close to like 60% of people that make $100,000 or more. Only 23% of people in America makes $100,000. And out of that 23% that makes $100,000 or more, you mean to tell me about 60% of them are living paycheck to paycheck? Do you understand what I'm saying? They're living paycheck to paycheck. So what I'm going to be trying to do is trying to get you from not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. If you follow these 4 pillars. So one of the things I want you to understand, I want you to get to when it comes to mindset, I want you to think about, why am I doing this? What is the reason I'm doing this? Why do I want to learn financial literacy? Why do I want to be able to, build this wealth? That's what's going to help you get to that next level. Okay? It's going to help you get to that next level if you can figure out the real reason. Most people want to do it because of, money wise. They want to have this amount of money to be able to do this. It's because they want materialistic things and things of that nature. You can still get those, but it's going to be a process. I'm letting you guys know, I'm not here to try to teach you and show you how you can make $1 million in 2 days, or $1 million in 2 months, or $1 million in 5 months, or $1 million in 5 years. Building wealth takes time. It's boring. Building wealth is boring also. Okay? So, let's go ahead and get started. I have my notes because I need my notes, all right? So, my first pillar, this is pillar 1. Pillar 1 is budgeting. Is knowing how to budget. All right? We have to know how to budget. The reason why we have to understand and know how to budget, the reason why we have to understand and know how to budget is because this is going to show us where we are actually at, okay? This is going to show us where we're supposed to be at. This is going to show us where we need to be at when it comes down to the budgeting part. When it comes down to our money, we have to make sure I need to know how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. If I can know those things, I'm going to be awesome. I'm going to be great. Okay? I have the 5 whys. Like I said, I have my notes. Yeah. I have 5 whys. 5 W's. What, why, where, who, and when. Okay? Those right there is what you need, right? So when I ask why, you need to know, why is your money going there? All right? I know my money's coming out, but I need to know, why is my money going there? Why is it going there? I need to know why it's going there. What is it going to do when it gets there? Who is it going there for? Where is it going? What is it going to do when it gets there? I need to know those things. I need to know when it's going to be there. Because at the end of the day, if I can't figure those things out, and I did that all out of order, all out of place, all right? I kind of messed up a little bit. Don't get worried. I'm a little nervous, all right? My first time doing this part right here for some reason on live, and it's okay. But I need to know that. If I can figure out that, if I can figure out a budget, if I can figure out what I brought in. So a lot of people say for instance, say if you're bringing in $40,000 a year, a lot of people are spending $42,000 because they don't know nothing. They don't know what type of money is coming in. So first thing I need to recognize is how much of my money is coming in. Sorry, I have a full house. If you hear that, I have a full house, full bunch of kids, right? My nieces and nephews are over playing around with my daughter, so don't pay attention to that. All right. How much is coming in? How much money do I have coming in? I need to know that. I need to know how much money I have coming in. If I don't know this, I don't know nothing. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. If you guys can't see that, I apologize, but just listen to what I'm saying. All right. I need to know how much money is coming in. All right. But I also need to know how much is going. I need to know how much is going out also. Those are the first two things that I must know when budgeting. When learning how to budget, I need to know how much is coming in and how much is going out. And once I have these two figured out, oh, it's going to be easy. It's going to be a cakewalk. I want people to understand something too. When it comes down to budgeting, budgeting is not a restriction. It's not a hold on you. It's budgeting is literally you taking control of your finances. Budgeting is you taking control back of your life. You know, you're not. The other day I was at the grocery store where I seen someone. They were in the grocery store, right? They were in the grocery store, and I literally seen them in line, and they went onto their phone and looked at their bank statement, like look at their bank, see how much money they have in the bank, and when the thing rung up, they stopped it. They stopped it right then and there. And it was like, oh. I wonder if there was two things I thought about. That's pretty dope. Hopefully that was their budget part of it, or they just wanted to make sure that they had enough and they didn't know how much money they had. You have to know your numbers. You have to. I always tell people, companies have a budgeting department. Companies have a department where they know the numbers. You have to begin to treat your life like a business. You know the term mind your own business? That's what you have to begin to do. And me personally, I don't say mind as in like M-I-N-D. I say M-I-N-E. Like I'm going to mine it. Meaning I'm going to go in here. I'm going to figure out these numbers. I'm going to mind my own business. I'm going to mind my life. I'm going to take control back of my life. That's what you have to do when we're budgeting. So if I can figure out how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, I'm already going to be a step ahead of everybody. I'm already going to be a step ahead of everybody. Now hold on one second. I got to get my eraser. So that's one thing we have to do. We have to figure out, once again, before we do anything else, we have to figure out how much money is coming in. All right. Once we figure out how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, right? How are we going to do that? All right. How are we going to figure out how much money is coming in and how much money is going out? We're going to do something that's very tedious. We're going to do something that's very tedious and something that is something that's very tedious. It's going to be very tedious and it's going to be boring. Financial literacy is boring. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to say that one more time. It's boring. So what you're going to do is we already have a first quarter that ended. We're about this month is about to end. So you can also do it here. But what you can actually do is go back from January, February to March. Go back January, February, March, and we can go and pull up your bank statement, print out your whole entire bank statement for that month. Every time money goes into your account, you cross it green. Get a highlighter, it's green. Whenever you see money go out, get a red highlighter and it's red. Then we're going to tally all of that up. Now then we're gonna take and set these into columns. All right. You're gonna need an income column. All right. So the income column is basically your money. All right. Then we're gonna need another column. This is going to be your expenses column. You know, what you need to live. What you need to live. This is what this column is going to be. That column is going to be what you need to live. All right. Then the next column is going to be, well, we're not even going to go to the next column. So your income is whatever you have, right? It's your job. If you have a side hustle, if you collect child support, if you collect child support, or if you get any type of money that comes in on a regular basis. This money comes in on a regular basis. Now, sometimes with side hustles, that kind of fluctuates. So you can take the average of what that is. But at the same time, when it comes down to side hustles and comes down to controlling your income, that's a whole other topic. That's something you can always make sure that you can possibly have. So if you always want to try to make an extra $100 a day or extra, let's say, $100 a week, so extra $400 a month. If that's something you want to do, that's something you can always make sure that this happens. All right, for your side hustle. Your expenses that you need to live is basically your rent or your mortgage. Your rent, your mortgage. Then you remember you have to pay lights. You have to pay your lights. If you have to pay gas, if you have to pay water, if you car, then you have car insurance. And I'm just abbreviating these, guys. I'm not putting these any type of not really gonna spell these all out. Car insurance, car gas, because you need these things every month to go back and forth to work. So you have to figure that out. You need groceries. What do you spend every month on groceries and all of that? You have to make sure you have this all. So this is everything you need to survive. If nothing else happened, if nothing else happened, you need these things to survive. Yeah, that's right. Cell phone. Yeah, your cell phone. Your cell phone, whatever you really, really need to survive, right? And what I mean by survive, all right? What I mean by survive, if you never went outside, how do you eat? How do you live? How do you get to work? You necessarily, depending on where you live at, you don't need a car to get to work, but you do need transportation. So if you live in somewhere like New York, so you'll have the Metro Pass. You'll have your Metro Pass. You'll have that put into your monthly budget because you need to go to work. If you take a cab all the time because you take the bus, not the cab. If you take a bus, you have your bus pass. You'll have all of that stuff. That's what you need to survive. All right, that's what you need to survive. The next column is going to be, some wants. All right. It's going to be some wants. You don't necessarily need Starbucks coffee, but hey, I want Starbucks. I want Starbucks. I don't necessarily need to eat, fast food or whatever you decide to eat for lunch. Whatever you decide to eat, fast food, and whatever you decide to eat for lunch, you don't necessarily need that, but you want it, right? A drink. Snacks. You kind of get in the picture when I'm saying what you necessarily don't need, right? You want to go ahead and put those into columns and actually see where those are going. Remember, we're taking 3 months of our bank statements, and this is where we're gonna get these 3 columns from. We're gonna get these 3 columns, right? We're gonna get those from those 3 months, and then we're gonna get a number. All right. Then we're going to get our number. So we're going to get, okay, I know how much income I have. Once again, income. I know how much expenses I have. I know how much wants I have. All right. I know all of those. Okay. So now it goes down to my five W's. So I need to know why for each column. I need to know why. And I'm going to read, right? I need to know why is your money going there? You need to know why is your money going there. Your goal is to clarify the purpose behind your spending of your financial decision. So I need to know why. I need to know why. I meant to say not for each column, for these first two columns, right? My expenses, because I have my income, my expenses, and my wants. So I need to know why my money went here, okay? And I need to know why my money went there. I need to know those two reasons why. I need to know why they went there, right? So once you identify those priorities, what we had just did when we looked at, this is your needs and these are your wants. Once we have to identify that. Then what you're going to do is then you're going to align your spending, whether it's short term or long term. Okay, you're going to align that. This typically your wants is going to be what's short term. These right here is typically going to be long term right here. This is typically going to be long term. All right. So now once I figure that out. Now I need to know who is my money going to, all right? So I need to know who. I know why it's going. I know why it's going. I know why my money is going here for rent. I know why my money went over here. It was for Starbucks, right? I need to know who got that, right? I also need to know Starbucks got that, right? I need to know Starbucks got that. I'm typically going to know when it comes to my wants who got that part, right? Okay? I also, when it comes to where your money is going, I need to know where it's going to. So basically these two right here, who and where are almost the same. You can just constantly continue to do that. I know my money is going where? Where is it going? It's going to Starbucks. I want it to go to Starbucks. Okay? I want it to go to Starbucks. When is it going to go to, when? This is a very important one. When. I need to know, when do I pay my rent? When do I pay my rent or pay my mortgage? When do I pay to lay my head? I need to know that part. I need to know that, right? So if I know when, say it can be, so we're coming up on May, so is it May 1st? Do I pay every May 1st? Do I pay every 1st? Or is it going to be April 30th? Because the end of the month is coming up. Is it May 17th? Okay? Even here, when it comes down to Starbucks, when am I getting Starbucks? Am I getting Starbucks every morning, every afternoon, every evening, or every weekend? Or weekday, or yeah, let's say weekend, or every weekend. Am I getting Starbucks then? When am I getting Starbucks? So I need to know, because because I'm tracking all of this. I'm tracking my money. All right? Now, what is your money doing when it gets there? Okay? What is it doing when it gets there? Is it, I know my money when it gets there, it's paying for a roof over my head. You know, I have a place to stay. When my money gets here to Starbucks, what is it doing for me? It's probably gonna wake me up, give me some sense of euphoria. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's going to smooth a craving that I had. But I also want to, when it comes to wants, I want you to understand something. I want you to go, do I need it? Oops. Do I need this? When it comes to this column right here, I have to ask myself, do I need this? All right? I have to ask myself, do I need this? Because if I don't need it every single day, can I take some time, take away from this just for a little bit? Not for a lot, just for a little bit. You know, do I need it 5 days a week? Do I need it 5 days? Or can I cut down and do 3 days? You know, instead of I don't know how much Starbucks coffee costs. I'm gonna say $10. I'm just ballparking it here. All right. Say if I spend $50 a week. I spend $50 a week on Starbucks, on a Starbucks coffee. So then if I only do it for 3 days, so that's 30 days. Now I'm saving $20. That little bit of money adds up. That pretty much adds up. Or can I go and do, get a Keurig machine that costs I can get a Keurig machine that costs $50. Get a Keurig machine that costs $50. Go and buy 50 of the Starbucks coffees at 50 of the Starbucks Keurigs for, I don't know, let's say I think 50 of them. Dang, I don't drink Starbucks, so I can't really tell you, but I think it's close. I think 50 is almost like $30 if I'm not mistaken. So if I have 50, I'm not really gonna do that math right now because if I have 50, you divide 50 divided by 30, and then you have what you have, right? Then that's what you'll get. So let's just say it's basically $2. If I'm spending $2 a cup, so that's $2 per day. $2 per day. If I say 5 days a week, that's what? $10. Now I done saved myself 40. All right. But there is something. I'm the person that I don't believe in taking this away. I really don't believe in taking your wants away, right? When we're learning this aspect of it, your income, what, why, who, where, when, and what. When we're learning this aspect, I'm not the type of person that says, hey, you have to get rid of this. I'm not that type of person. I believe that something has to give. There's somewhere that something has to give. So say for instance, if I'm spending $50 a week on Starbucks, but me and my homeboys or me and my friends, we go out for brunch every Sunday. We go out for brunch every Sunday, and it costs me about $50. Which one's more important for me? Me going to get my own Keurig machine, spend $50. Me going to get my own Keurig machine, paying $10 a day, and then me going to go spend brunch with my friends. Me gonna go hang out with my friends or something of that nature. So I don't believe in taking away your wants completely. I just believe in reorganizing them. Okay, I don't believe in, hey, I'm gonna spend $50 here. But if it's in your budget, to do it, do it though. If you have it, I just want you to make sure that your money is going somewhere. That's it, right? So one budget. There are so many different budgets out there. You know what? I'm not going to get that one. I have another one over here. There are so many different types of budgets that are out there. Okay? There are so many different types of budgets that are out there. Me personally, I like the zero-based budget. I like the zero-based budget. And what the zero-based budget, it just gives your money a place to go. So hypothetically, let's say if my rent, let's say my bills for the whole entire month, I make $3,000. I make $3,000 for the whole entire month. I don't know. Let's say all my expenses is $2,500. All right. What I'm going to do when it comes down to this $3,000, I'm going to make sure that it's going somewhere. I want to make sure I basically at the end of the month, I have no money. And this right here, this is all of your needs. And this is all of your wants also. All of your needs and all of your wants that are right there. So within a zero-based budget, now, these numbers are going to be a little off, okay? These numbers are going to be a little off, okay? They're going to be a little off. So with a zero-based budget, let's say my rent is $1,000 a month. With my electric, my gas, my cable. I don't really need cable, but hey, if you do, if you want it, you want it. You don't really. To me, I don't think people need cable or any type of streaming networks. But if you want to, you can have it. Doesn't really matter. That's the whole point of the zero-based budget. So I have $1,000 for my rent, my electric bill. My electric is, I don't know, let's say $50. My water every month is $30. Trash. Typically, this is all in. Water, sewage, and trash actually is all in, and it's typically about $30. What else? My car insurance. Car insurance with the cars, $300 a month. If you have a car payment, that right there would go into that. So you're going to assign all of these, even if when it comes down to a savings, right? Come down to a savings. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that a little bit. And next week, we're going to get into that, okay? We're going to get into the savings next week. But even if I want to put $50 away for savings, or every month, if, you know, since I have, let's say I said all my expenses was $2,500, so I have $500 left over. So if I want to take that $500 that I have left over, if you have any money left over after you pay your bills, all right? But if you have any money left over, you're still going to get rid of that money also. So say, for instance, even if I had $100 left over every single month, even if I had $100 left over, $25 for my friends to do something once a week, another $25 for myself to do something once a week, $50 for, I don't know, to get something done with myself once a week. Just something you're going to do if you have this. At the end of when you're done with your budget, it should be zero. Okay, your budget should be zero. The amount of money that you have should be zero, and they all should be placed in some. They should all be placed in somewhere. Okay, me personally, I like the zero-based budget, but say, for instance, if you don't really want to go through all of that, I have something I like to call the simple budget. All right, it's a simple budget. What you got to do, what you'll do is take all of your expenses. All right, you'll take all of your expenses and you'll figure out what that number is. Once again, let's say that number is $2,500. Okay. That number is $2,500. You're going to open up another bank account. So you're typically going to have about 3 bank accounts with this simple budget, okay? This is really simple. It's a simple budget. You're going to have the checking account that you have already, okay? You're already going to have that checking account. Then you're going to open up another checking account and you're going to have a savings. So you're going to have 2 checking accounts, right? So the second checking account that you open, you're not going to have access to this checking account as far as having a debit card, okay? So you have, so with this, you have checking account 1, checking account 2, and savings. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your HR. Once you get this account in savings, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your HR. Once you get this account opened up, once you figure out what all of your expenses are, you're going to go to HR, okay? You're going to go to HR and say, hey, you're going to go to HR and you're going to go say, hey, I want to, oh, is this messing up? Just wanted to make sure because my connection like it failed a little bit. Everything's good, guys? Can you give me a 1 in the chat if everything's okay? Okay, cool. All right, thanks. I'm gonna read some of the questions later on. Just give me a little bit, okay? So with your checking, so with the simple base budget, right? So checking account 1 is you're gonna go to HR and you're gonna say HR, because what Most payroll systems, if you get a direct deposit, most payroll systems, they allow you to have up to about 4 to 5 accounts that you can have money going into. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna figure out what percentage that 2,500 is from 3,000. Once again, I'm not gonna do the math, but I think that's about, let's just say, a 75%. So what you're gonna do is take 75%. Now you're gonna do some legwork with the simple base budget, but it's really simple. You're gonna take 75% of your paycheck, and you're gonna put it right into here. Now this account, you have no debit card. You have no debit card. You have nothing. Only thing that you have here is the routing number and the checking number. Yeah, the routing number and the checking number. That's all that you have. You just have the routing and you have the checking. That's completely it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to also get on the phone, or get on your phone, get on your computer, or get whatever, and you're going to take, and all of the bills that you have, it's going to come out of this account. Every last bill is going to come out of this account. So if your rent or your mortgage is direct, they can pull it out automatically from here. Your light bill, your water bill, your trash bill, they can pull it out from here. Your car insurance, they can pull it out from here. The only part that you're not going to have in this check account, is going to be your car gas. Is the gas you get for your car. That's going to come over to this, is going to be in this checking account. So let's just say, instead of it being 2,500, let's just say, for shits and giggles, it's 2,300 that's coming out of here, because you're going to do $200 a month for gas. Okay, you figured out you only pay $200 a month for gas. All right, so that's going to come into gas. Is going to come here. All right, so what's going to be here is going to be your needs and one want. Okay, your needs are going to come here. That's where your needs are going to come in at. So if you want Starbucks, all of that, you're going to take that from here. So whatever money is left over from here is what you're going to use over here. See how simple that is? That's very, very simple. And then what this savings account is going to do, you're going to take and have like $10, $15, $5. You're going to have $10, $15, $5, $10, $15 go into here, and you're just going to sit there, and that's just going to be a nice little nest egg for you. That's going to get into like what we're going to talk about later on also, right? And now we're not going to talk about that today, but today is pillar 1, and it's budgeting. Because that's what we're going to need before we can do anything. We need to know our money before we can do anything. So we have 2 budgets right there, right? You have the zero-based budget, where you give all of your money, you have no money at the end of the year, at the end of the month. Every single dollar, you know exactly where every single dollar is going. You know why it's going there. You know why. You know why, when, where, who, and what. You know all of that in the zero-based budget. Zero base. Here, you have the same concept, but this is all on auto pay. That's all on auto pay. That's all on AP. Okay? That's all AP. Auto pay. That's all that is. That's all on auto pay right there. Okay? That's what that's on. AP. So you don't really have to don't even have to take a look at this. You don't have to take a look at this, because you went and called everybody. You got on your laptop, got on your computer, got on your phone, and you made sure every single bill is coming out of here. The only thing that comes into checking account 2, where you do have a debit card, you do have a debit card for checking account 2. Checking account 1, no debit card. Checking account 2, debit card. Once again, simple base budget. No debit card, debit card. And then you'll have whatever percentage is left over. So if I have 75% here, 75% of my paycheck is going to go into checking account 1, 20% is going to go into here, and then 5% is going to go into here. This is going to give you a nice little savings. This is going to give you a nice little savings, a nice little nest egg. This right here is going to make sure you don't feel trapped into, oh my gosh, this budgeting shit is hard. I can't budget. Blah, blah, blah. I feel trapped. No, this right here, this 20% is going to give you what you actually want to be able to do. Okay? It's going to give you what you actually be able to do. It's going to actually, simple based budget or zero based budget, they're both going to have you stop doing this. If you make $3,000 a month, this is what it's going to have you stop doing. It's going to have you stop doing this, spending $32,000 a month. Because that's what most of us do. Most of us make $3,000, but we spend $3,000, but we spend $3,200. $3,200. We spend this every single month, majority of us. Because we put it on credit cards. We do that. We put it on credit cards. We do that type of stuff. But we're going to get into credit cards because I love credit cards. So we're going to get into that, but that's going to be further down the way. Because once again, we have to figure out how to budget. We have to figure out what our money is doing. We have to figure out where our money's going. We have to figure out all of that. Once we're able to figure that out, then can we work, all right? So, once again, I'm going to go into this. So, pillar 1 is about budgeting, okay? Once again, I have my notes. Pillar 1 is about budgeting. I need to know why. Why is my money going there? Who is my money going to? Where is my money going? When is my money getting there? And what is my money doing when it gets there? Okay? We learned 2 budgeting. We learned the zero-based budget, where you sit down and you give every single dollar an assignment. And I mean, when I say every single dollar assignment, and you go all the way down to, if I'm going to get a medi or pedicure, that money's going to go there. If I'm going to get my hair done, that money's going to go there. If I want to get a wax, that money's going to go there. If I want to get some basketball shoes or I want to get some new clothes, that money's going to go here. That money's going to go there. But I also know that that money, I have my money for my rent. I have my money for my gas. I have my money for my car insurance, my car payment. I have my money for all of that stuff also. I do have my money for that also. So at the end of the month, I should be sitting on a donut egg. Or you can do the simple based budget, where I have checking account 1, checking account 2, and then I have my savings account. What you do, you go into HR or your payroll, whatever it is, you go into them and you say, hey, I want 70% or 75%, because I know what my expenses is. I know how much my expenses is, and I know the percentage of how much that is from my check. So I want 75% of my pay to go into this checking account. Remember, checking account 1, we don't have a debit card. No debit card for checking account 1. The only thing that we have for checking account 1 is the routing number, and we have the account number. Other than that, we have no debit card. We really don't have any type of access to this account. We have no access to this account. Hell, if you could, I would challenge you to make it an online, go to an online bank account and do it. So they won't, and don't ask for a debit card. Just have all that money go into there. It's because you can't go into a branch and be like, hey, can I get some money out? I would try my best to go somewhere and get an account that's somewhere out of my county that's 3 hours away. I know I'm being dramatic, but that's what I want. I don't want you to have any type of access to this account, but just have the routing number, the account number, what you're doing, and then you're going to take it to HR and say, hey, 75% of my account, 75% of the money, 75% of my paycheck, I want it to go here. Okay? I want 75% of my paycheck to go here. Then you're going to get on the phone, or you're going to get on the phone, your laptop, your iPad, whatever you have. And you're going to have all of your accounts, all of that money come out of here. All of those bills are going to come out of here. Then you're going to go, then you have for checking account 2. The only thing that comes out of here, we have one want that's in here, and that's your car gas. That's your gas that you get for your car. We know what that number is, so that's going to come out of here. And then the rest of your wants, this is whatever's left over from there, you're going to spend here, because another 5% is going over to your savings account. And that's going to stay that way. You're just going to grow your savings and not even know you're growing your savings. Because we're not really going to check that all the time. We just know that there's money in here. That's it. We just know there's money in there. That's going to be for something. That's going to be for next week, what we're going to talk about. Okay? But this is what I know. That's what you're going to know. Those 2 types of budget, that's it. It's either you can go and find your own budget. There's other budgets out there. There's the cash budget, the envelope budget where you stuff the envelopes. Me personally, I don't really like that because it's a lot of money there. Then you got to do a lot of legwork to go to the bank and make sure you put it in the bank so it can come out this time at that time. However you decide you want to do it, figure out your budget. I only gave you two. I give you two that I use a simple budget first, and then I moved on to the zero-based budget. I like the zero-based budget because I get to see and know I know everything. Okay? So that's the two budgets I want you to look at, all right? So I'm going to answer a couple of questions that are in the chat that I seen. So just bear with me. Okay, what if you are going to the new month is okay, so if you have an overdraft for the next month, you still do the same thing. Even if you still do have an overdraft, that's fine. It's fine if you have an overdraft for the next month. Still do the same thing. Still figure it out. Try to get out of the overdraft. Okay, that's another thing. That's what's gonna help you also when you do these budgets. You're not gonna overdraft anymore because you know where your money's at. You know where your money's coming. You know what's coming out because you know your money. So that's gonna get rid of overdrafts. I think they said, if I'm not mistaken, I think they make over $3 billion a year from overdraft fees. Whew. $3 billion just from banks make over $3 billion just from overdraft fees. That's it. $3 billion. So they really don't even they need your money, but they don't really need your money because they're gonna get it back from overdraft. So we budget. We don't have to worry about that part. If we know where our money's at, we know where our money's going. We don't have to worry about that part. We have a simple base budget and we have a zero base budget. I know I know my money. That's what. So all right. Do you pay off debt? So we're not gonna get to that part first, right? We're not gonna get to that part first when it comes to debt. My 4 pillars. I'll even let you know what my 4 pillars are. My 4 pillars. My first one is budgeting. Second pillar is paying yourself first. The third pillar is emergency fund. And then the fourth pillar is you're going to create a side hustle or something, okay? Those are my 4 pillars of building wealth. We haven't even gotten to budgeting yet. We're not even going to get to paying off debt just right away. But part of that budget is going to have it should have whatever you have to pay for debt also, okay? Part of that budget is going to have your debt in there also. Now, I'm not saying go hard at it. Continue to pay your monthly pay your monthly bill for your debt. If you have debt and you're paying it, continue that, but make sure that's inside of your budget. Okay. And if you haven't started paying your debt, I always tell people, if you can get on the phone, if you can go and get your credit score, you go get your, not credit score, but go get your credit report, make some phone calls and start asking them, hey, can I pay? I got $20 a month I can give you. I got $15 a month I can give you. I got $10 a month. As long as you have something, you can be able to give them. Majority of times they're not going to say no. Majority of the times they're not going to say no. Okay. So we can get these bill collectors stop calling you also if we can put that into our budget. Okay. But that's going to be farther down the road once we get down there. Okay. What? But factual. Okay. That's nothing. Nowadays you can just, yeah. So yeah, put it in the computer. So that, I guess that's all the questions, but I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I haven't started a channel yet. So if you haven't seen that, if you just now coming in and you didn't catch none of this, you're gonna be able to go to the channel. I'm gonna put that in the link in my bio. Hopefully I'll have that up before hopefully by Friday. And also I'm gonna make some snips and clips and put this into my onto my page also, because I came on TikTok to teach financial literacy and I got caught up into the BS and that chuck and jive and stuff. So I'm gonna stick to basically what I know. All right. So I thank you guys for rocking with me. But remember, every Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we're going to do this live. Hopefully once I have the YouTube channel up, every Monday and then every Tuesday you'll be able to see you'll be able to get you'll basically be able to rewatch it on YouTube. You'll be able to rewatch this on YouTube every Tuesday, Tuesday or either Wednesday, okay? So thanks a lot guys for rocking out with me. So you do have some homework that you're going to do. You do have some homework, so you're going to go get 3 months worth of your statements. So we have January, February, you have March. So you're going to go there, figure out how much money you have coming in. If you have a job, if you have a side hustle, if you collect child support, you get an annuity, any type of income that you have coming in, you're going to write that down. And then you're going to figure out your expenses. You're going to make a column for needs, and you're going to have wants. So when you're going through there, you're going to go, oh, okay, so my rent came out, this is a need. My light bill came out, this is a need. My car insurance came out, this is a need. My car payment came out, this is a need. I went and got Starbucks, that's a want. I went and got McDonald's, that's a want. I went and got Popeyes, that's a want. I went and got Church's Chicken, that's a want. I got a soda at the convenience store, that's a want. All those things that you typically really don't need to survive. Like I need food, so I need to go grocery shopping, but I need food, but I don't need McDonald's. Okay? So you're gonna separate those columns. Then once you separate those columns, once again, you're gonna figure out why is your money going there? Who is your money going to? Where is your money going? When is your money getting there? And what is your money doing when it gets there? Okay? That's how we're gonna figure out also when it comes down to our wants, do I really need this in my life? Do I really need this in my life because I figure out, okay, what is my money doing when it's getting there, blah, blah, blah. All right. Then once we have that, then we're going to figure out what type of budget we're going to use. We're going to either use a zero-based budget or we're going to use a simple-based budget. Remember, zero-based budget, you're going to give every single dollar a job, basically. Every single dollar is going to have a job. So at the end of the month, you're going to have zero money. That means that if you have a savings goal, you're going to put it into the savings. If you have a savings goal, you're going to put into a savings. If you have a wants goal, you're going to put into the wants goal. Every last dollar has a job. Okay, it's going to be zero at the end of the month. Then the simple base budget. Now your simple base budget, once again, is you're going to go to HR. You're going to open up another checking account. This checking account one, you have no debit card to. You have no access to it. The only thing you have is your routing number. You have your routing number and you have your account number. That's it. And you're going to basically keep your other checking account if you have a checking account. You have your account number. That's it. And you're going to basically keep your other checking account if you have a checking account, checking and savings. All right. So you're going to go to HR and you're going to say, hey, HR, I want to put 75%. Remember, because we know our income and we know our expenses. We know our income and we know our expenses, right? So we're going to take and put 75. Let's just say 75%. I'm just saying 75%. We're going to take 75% and we're going to put that into checking account one where we don't have a debit card. All of that money is going to go into checking account one. And what you're going to do then is either get on the phone or go on the computer and make sure all of those bills, if you can put your rent or your mortgage, your car payment, all those things that you can put on auto pay. You're going to put it on auto pay. You can even do it also with the bank. I think the bank still has that same system where, say for instance, if you have something that you can't put on auto pay, the bank will send out a check to them. So basically the bank will do your auto pay for you if they can't take it out themselves because they don't have auto pay capability. So checking account one is going to be on all auto pay. Checking account two is going to have 20%. Remember, we have one need that is in checking account two, and that's your car gas. That's the gas you're going to put into your car. The only reason why is because we can't put it in part one. We can't put it in part one. So I should say, instead of it being 75%, it may be 70% because we need some money to go over to here. So 3% of it, 3% of it's going to be, there's going to be a percentage basically. There's going to be a percentage that's going to be for your car gas, all right? You're going to figure that out also. Then whatever's left, then you say, for instance, once again, say if it's 20%, I'm just using these type of numbers because it's a little bit easier for the math. 20% of that's going to be your needs. I mean, your wants, right? So your wants, whatever you decide you want to do with that money in checking account too, you can do. But make sure you're using money for your gas. Now the savings account, the 5% that's going to be left over is going to basically be savings. You're going to start saving. Because everybody, we need to start saving. A lot of people need to start saving, okay? So that's what we're going to have. That's what you're going to do. Once again, hopefully by Friday, I will have the YouTube channel up. Hopefully, I'm going to try to do it before the night's over and have the YouTube channel up, and I'll put that into the bio. I do have one that's already in my bio. That's something totally different from what this is, but I'm going to have that into my bio. And y'all can go back and rewatch this if you missed it. All right. And also I'm going to put clips up on TikTok also. All right, guys. Thank you for rocking with me. And y'all have a good rest of your night.